Across our planet, a silent, ancient rhythm pulses through the wild. It is the rhythm of migration. This is one of nature's most magnificent spectacles, a grand procession of life on an epic scale. Animals, driven by instincts refined over millennia, embark on extraordinary journeys. They are not wandering aimlessly. Their movements are a deliberate search for survival. They travel to find food, to seek out warmer climates, or to reach special places where they can safely bring their young into the world. These journeys are etched into the very fabric of their being, a promise of renewal passed down from one generation to the next. Imagine millions of creatures moving as one, a living river flowing across continents and through oceans. They follow invisible maps in their minds, guided by the sun, the stars, or the Earth's magnetic field. This is not simply a walk or a swim, but a test of incredible endurance. They face scorching deserts, frozen tundra, raging rivers, and vast, empty seas. For these travelers, the journey itself is a constant battle against exhaustion and the elements. It is a powerful reminder that life on Earth is forever in motion, constantly adapting and striving in a world of breathtaking challenges and endless wonder. But these great travelers are never truly alone. Their movements create a ripple effect throughout the natural world, and where there is a great gathering of life, predators are sure to follow. The migration is not just a journey for the herbivores and the swimmers, it is a mobile feast for the hunters. These predators have also adapted their lives to this moving banquet. They have become specialists, their own survival tied directly to the success and timing of the migration. They wait patiently, they plan, and they use remarkable strategies to catch their prey. This dynamic relationship between the traveler and the hunter is a fundamental drama of the natural world. It is a story of incredible athleticism, clever tactics, and surprising intelligence on both sides. The prey animals have developed ways to protect themselves through sheer numbers, speed, and vigilance. The predators, in turn, have honed their skills to overcome these defenses. It is a delicate and often brutal dance, but it is this very struggle that maintains the health and balance of these wild places. It ensures that only the strongest and most resilient survive to continue their species, shaping the evolution of both hunter and hunted. In the heart of East Africa, the plains of the Serengeti and Masai Mara host what is perhaps the most famous migration on Earth. Every year, over 1.5 million wildebeest, joined by hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles, embark on an 800-kilometre circular march. They are following the rains, chasing the promise of fresh green pastures. This is not a single herd, but a colossal, thundering wave of life that transforms the landscape. The ground trembles under their hooves, and the air is filled with the constant, mournful calls of the wildebeest. It is a journey driven by an unquenchable thirst and a relentless hunger. The predators of the Serengeti have their entire existence shaped by this moving feast. On the grassy plains, the cheetah, the fastest land animal on the planet, waits for its moment. With a flexible spine that allows for a 7-meter stride and claws that act like running spikes, it can explode to speeds of over 100 kilometers per hour. It targets the swift gazelles that travel with the herd, but its incredible speed comes at a cost. After a successful hunt, the cheetah is utterly exhausted and must rest for up to 20 minutes, a vulnerable window where larger predators like lions or hyenas can steal its hard-won meal. The most dramatic moment of this migration is the crossing of the Mara River. Here, a different kind of hunter lies in wait. The Nile crocodile, an ancient reptile, has mastered the art of the ambush. These giants can hold their breath for extended periods, their eyes and nostrils just peeking above the surface, appearing like harmless logs. With a specialized valve in their throat, they can open their mouths underwater without drowning. When the wildebeest finally plunge into the river, the crocodiles strike with a bite force of 22,000 newtons, dragging their prey below the surface. The river becomes a scene of chaos and desperation, a formidable filter that only the luckiest and strongest can pass. Even on the riverbanks, the danger is not over. Lions, the kings of the savannah, use the crossings to their advantage. Weighing nearly 230 kilograms, male lions position themselves where the exhausted wildebeest clamber out of the water. Recent biological data from 2025 has shown that the stress of the crossing floods the wildebeest's body with cortisol, a hormone that slows their reflexes and makes them easier targets. Elsewhere, clans of spotted hyenas use their incredible endurance, running at a steady 60 kilometers per hour to chase down and exhaust their prey over long distances. Their powerful jaws and highly acidic stomachs allow them to consume every part of a carcass, hide, bone and all, leaving almost no trace behind. Far to the north, in the vast and silent wilderness of the Arctic, another incredible journey unfolds. Herds of caribou, numbering 500,000 strong, undertake a staggering 5,000-kilometer marathon. This is one of the longest overland migrations of any land animal. They are driven by the changing seasons, moving from their wintering grounds in the boreal forests to the coastal plains of the Arctic tundra. This is where the brief but bountiful summer brings forth a flush of nutritious vegetation, the perfect food for mothers to raise their newborn calves. It is a race against time, a desperate push to reach the calving grounds before the next generation is born. Following this immense river of life are the grey wolves of the Arctic. These predators are masters of endurance, perfectly adapted to the unforgiving landscape. They do not rely on a short burst of speed, but on a relentless long-distance pursuit that can last for hours or even days. Working as a pack, they test the caribou herd, looking for any sign of weakness, an older animal, a sick individual, or a young calf that cannot keep up. At river crossings, lone wolves often use a devastatingly precise tactic, targeting a vulnerable caribou and delivering a single powerful bite to the hamstring to bring it down. Their strategy is one of patience and persistence. The caribou migration also attracts another powerful hunter, the grizzly bear. Emerging from their winter hibernation, grizzlies are incredibly hungry and look to the migrating herds for a much-needed meal. A mother bear with new cubs is especially formidable, as she needs to consume vast amounts of calories. An adult caribou weighing up to 180 kilograms provides a substantial feast. A grizzly can eat enough to build a layer of fat up to 15 centimeters thick, which is essential for its survival during the next long winter. They are opportunistic hunters, often ambushing caribou as they navigate through narrow valleys or thick brush. But now a new and unexpected predator has appeared on the scene, a direct result of our changing climate. As the Arctic sea ice melts earlier each year, polar bears, the great hunters of the ice, are being forced onto land for longer periods. Their traditional prey, seals, are becoming harder to find. In a remarkable and desperate adaptation, some polar bears have started to hunt caribou. This is a new threat for the migrating herds, one they are not accustomed to. This has even led to the emergence of growler bears, hybrids of grizzly and polar bears, creating a new predator whose impact on the caribou is still unknown. In the warm, tropical waters of Costa Rica, a journey of immense importance begins. After mating, female sea turtles embark on a solo pilgrimage that can span over 3,000 kilometers of open ocean. They are guided by an internal compass, an incredible ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field, which leads them back to the very same beach where they were born years ago. This is a journey of instinct and memory, a sacred duty to lay their own eggs in the sand. But this incredible voyage is filled with danger, and the final stretch is often the most treacherous of all. Lurking within the migratory corridors are some of the ocean's most efficient predators. The tiger shark, sometimes called the wastebasket of the sea for its varied diet, is a primary threat. These powerful sharks have uniquely serrated teeth, sharp as blades, that are perfectly designed to slice through the tough shells of adult turtles. They gather in key areas along the turtles' routes, waiting for these slow-moving reptiles to pass. For a female turtle, heavy with eggs and weary from her long swim, an encounter with a tiger shark often means her journey ends before she can even reach the shore. Once a female turtle finally reaches the land, a different kind of predator awaits. On the beaches of Central and South America, the jaguar, the largest cat in the Americas, has become a specialized turtle hunter. It is the only big cat that regularly preys on large reptiles. The jaguar possesses the most powerful bite relative to its size of any feline, strong enough to crush a turtle's protective shell with a single, well-placed crunch to the skull. They patrol the beaches at night, seeking out exhausted females as they laboriously dig their nests or make their slow return to the water. In a strange twist, the jaguar's presence can sometimes help the turtles as they scare away smaller egg predators like raccoons, indirectly protecting other nests. Even if the eggs are laid successfully, the danger is far from over. After weeks of incubation, tiny hatchlings emerge from the sand and begin a frantic race to the sea. In these first few moments of life, they are incredibly vulnerable. From the sky, magnificent frigate birds, with their enormous 2-meter wingspans, circle overhead. These aerial pirates are experts at snatching the tiny turtles from the sand before they can reach the relative safety of the waves. It is a desperate scramble for survival against overwhelming odds. Out of 1,000 hatchlings that make this mad dash, only one may survive to adulthood to one day make the same perilous journey home. In the cold, clear rivers of Alaska and the Pacific Northwest, one of nature's most dramatic and tragic migrations takes place. Millions of salmon, after spending years maturing in the vastness of the ocean, are called home by an irresistible instinct. They swim thousands of kilometers, navigating back to the exact stream where they were born. This is their final journey. They stop eating entirely, their bodies transforming as they burn up to 4,000 calories. Their silver scales turn a deep, vibrant red, and their sole purpose is to spawn and then die, completing a remarkable life cycle. This incredible influx of fish creates a seasonal feast for the region's predators. Grizzly bears congregate along the riverbanks, drawn by the promise of an easy meal. During the peak of the run, a single bear can eat up to 40 kilograms of salmon in a day. They are surprisingly strategic fishers. Some bears stand in rapids and catch fish as they leap upstream, while others snorkel, pinning the salmon to the riverbed. They often practice high grading, selectively eating only the most energy-rich parts of the fish, the skin, the brain, and the eggs. An unspoken social hierarchy determines who gets the best fishing spots, with the largest and most dominant bears claiming the most productive waterfalls. The sky above the salmon run is just as busy as the river below. Bald eagles with eyesight 4 times sharper than a human's perch in the tall trees lining the banks. They watch the water intently, and when they spot a salmon near the surface, they swoop down with breathtaking precision. Their powerful talons are covered in rough bumps called spicules, which give them a non-slip grip on their slippery prey. They can be seen fighting over catches, their piercing calls echoing through the valleys. The eagles play a crucial role in this ecosystem, carrying fish away from the river and into the surrounding forest. What is truly astonishing is how these predators connect the ocean to the land. As bears, eagles, and even wolves carry salmon carcasses deep into the forest, they are delivering a vital gift from the sea. The decaying bodies of the salmon release enormous amounts of marine nitrogen and phosphorus into the soil. These nutrients act as a powerful fertilizer for the entire forest ecosystem. Scientists have discovered that up to 25% of the nitrogen found in the giant trees of these coastal rainforests can be traced directly back to the salmon. In death, the salmon give life not only to their own offspring, but to the very forests that shelter their birth streams. Off the coast of South Africa, the ocean turns silver with one of the greatest marine events on the planet, the sardine run. Billions of sardines, small shimmering fish, migrate in colossal shoals that can stretch for kilometers. They are following a corridor of cool water, but this massive concentration of food attracts an unprecedented gathering of predators from the sea and the sky. The sardines' main defense is the sheer power of their numbers. By swimming in a massive group, they create what scientists call a dilution effect, where the chance of any single fish being eaten is incredibly small. But, their predators have learned to work together to turn this strength into a weakness. The hunt often begins with the common dolphins. Moving with incredible speed and intelligence, they use echolocation to find the sardine shoals in the deep. Working in coordinated pods, they drive the fish upward, herding them into a tight, swirling vortex known as a bait ball. By forcing the sardines against the surface, the dolphins trap them, creating a concentrated, panicked mass of fish that is easy to attack. This cooperative herding is the signal that the feast is about to begin, and it draws in predators from miles around. The dolphins take turns dashing through the bait ball, grabbing mouthfuls of fish. From the deep, other hunters join the fray. Thresher sharks possess a truly unique weapon, an enormously long tail fin, often as long as their body. They swim towards the bait ball and, with a flick of incredible power, whip their tail through the water at speeds over 130 kilometers per hour. This strike creates a shock wave that stuns or kills dozens of sardines at once, allowing the shark to easily scoop up its disabled prey. At the same time, Cape gannets plummet from the sky like arrows, hitting the water at high speed to snatch sardines from the upper layers of the bait ball. The attack comes from all sides, a chaotic, three-dimensional assault. The grand finale of this feeding frenzy often comes with the arrival of the giants. Bride's whales, massive baleen whales, are drawn to the commotion. They perform a technique called lunge feeding. With immense power, they surge up from below, their mouths wide open, engulfing thousands of gallons of water and tens of thousands of sardines in a single colossal gulp. Their expandable throat grooves allow them to take in a volume of water larger than their own body. With one move, a bride's whale can completely obliterate a bait ball, bringing the feeding frenzy to an abrupt and dramatic end. This spectacular event is a powerful display of how different species can coordinate to hunt. On the vast, windswept steppes of Kazakhstan, an animal that looks like it walked straight out of the Ice Age makes its home. The Saiga antelope is a true survivor, known for its bizarre trunk-like nose, which is perfectly adapted to its environment. This unique snout warms the frigid winter air before it reaches the lungs and filters out dust during the dry summer. These antelopes undertake long migrations in search of grazing. Their resilience is legendary. After a devastating disease wiped out most of their population in 2015, they made a miraculous recovery, with numbers soaring to over 1.3 million by early 2024. A true testament to nature's ability to bounce back. The primary predator of the saiga is the grey wolf, a hunter that matches the antelope's endurance. Saiga can run at speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour, but wolves are built for the long chase. They pursue the herds for hours, sometimes even days, waiting for an individual to become exhausted. Their strategy is one of attrition, wearing down their prey until it can run no more. The vast open steppe offers little cover, making these long-running battles a pure test of stamina for both hunter and hunted. For the youngest saiga, another threat comes from the sky steppe eagles, which can snatch newborn calves in swift aerial attacks. In another part of the world, a different kind of migration fills the skies of Zambia. It is the largest mammal migration on Earth by sheer density. Every year, up to 10 million straw-colored fruit bats converge on a small patch of forest in Kasanka National Park, an area of just 10 square kilometers. They come to feast on the abundance of ripe fruit. At dusk, they emerge in a swirling black cloud that darkens the sky. Their defense strategy is simple: overwhelming numbers. The chance of any single bat being caught by a predator is literally 1 in 10 million. A calculated sacrifice for the good of the colony. This incredible concentration of bats attracts a host of opportunistic predators. Martial eagles and African fish eagles, magnificent birds of prey, adapt their hunting style to become high-altitude interceptors. They soar above the bat cloud, diving down to easily pluck a bat from the dense swarm. Even leopards have learned a new trick. These normally solitary, ground-based hunters have been observed climbing high into the thinnest branches of trees, a risky endeavor to snatch bats as they sleep during the day. This behavioral adaptation shows just how resourceful predators can be when faced with such a reliable and abundant source of food. The great migrations of our world are ancient, but the paths they follow are not guaranteed to last forever. Today, these incredible journeys face new and complex threats from a rapidly changing world. Human activity and climate change are redrawing the map, creating new obstacles and altering the delicate timing that these animals rely on for survival. Roads, fences, and cities slice through historic migration routes, creating barriers that can be impossible for animals to cross. This fragmentation of habitats can isolate populations, block them from essential food sources, and lead them into dangerous conflicts with people. Climate change is perhaps the most powerful and unpredictable force affecting these journeys. In the Arctic, melting sea ice is stranding polar bears on land and forcing penguins to travel farther across unstable ice to find food. Unpredictable weather patterns in the Serengeti are changing when and where the rains fall, forcing the wildebeest herds into narrower and more dangerous corridors. In the oceans, rising temperatures can disrupt the food chain that animals like whales and sea turtles depend on. Ocean noise pollution from shipping and industry also interferes with the communication of marine mammals, making it harder for them to navigate and find each other. One of the most striking examples of human impact comes from Christmas Island. Here, 50 million red crabs undertake a spectacular migration from the forest to the sea to breed. For years, their greatest threat was being crushed by cars on the roads. But now, an invasive species, the yellow crazy ant, poses a far greater danger. These ants, introduced by humans, do not eat the crabs directly. Instead, they spray formic acid into the crabs' eyes and joints, blinding and immobilizing them. The ants have created super colonies that have wiped out crab populations in certain areas, demonstrating how a small, invasive creature can disrupt an entire ecosystem. However, the story is not only one of loss. Our growing understanding of these threats is also leading to innovative solutions. In Botswana, a remarkable discovery was made after fences erected for cattle ranching were removed. Zebras, which had been blocked for decades, almost immediately rediscovered an ancient migration route, now the longest-known overland mammal migration in Africa. This showed that the memory of these journeys can persist for generations. It is a powerful lesson. When we remove the obstacles we have created, nature often has an incredible capacity to heal itself and restore its ancient rhythms. As we witness the immense challenges facing migrating animals, it is easy to feel discouraged. Yet all around the world, there is a growing movement of people dedicated to protecting these natural wonders. Conservation is no longer just about protecting single species in isolated parks. It is about protecting the connections between them. A new approach, known as connectivity conservation, focuses on keeping migration routes open and safe. This means building wildlife bridges over busy highways, creating protected corridors between national parks, and working with local communities to ensure that both people and animals can thrive. Technology is playing a vital role in this new era of conservation. As of 2026, scientists are using advanced satellite tracking and artificial intelligence to monitor and predict animal movements with incredible accuracy. By understanding exactly where and when animals will travel, we can take proactive steps to protect them. This data can help authorities temporarily close roads, alert ships to the presence of whales, or manage landscapes to create safe passage. In Kazakhstan, Thermal sensor monitoring helped conservationists protect saiga antelope mothers during their vulnerable calving season, contributing to their amazing population recovery. The success of these efforts often depends on the involvement of local people. When communities see the economic and cultural benefits of protecting wildlife, they become its most passionate defenders. In many parts of Africa, ecotourism provides a sustainable income that relies on healthy animal populations, giving people a direct incentive to guard the migrations. The story of the saiga's comeback is not just one of technology, but of community engagement and government commitment to stamping out poaching. These success stories prove that, when we work together, we can achieve remarkable results and bring species back from the brink. Protecting these great journeys is a responsibility we all share. We can help by supporting organizations that work to protect habitats, by making conscious choices to reduce our own environmental footprint, and by simply sharing these incredible stories of resilience and wonder. The migrations are a powerful reminder that our world is interconnected, a beautiful and complex web of life. By acting as guardians of these ancient trails, we are not just saving animals, we are preserving the very pulse of our living planet for generations to come. The Great Migrations are a symbol of hope, a testament to the enduring power of life to overcome adversity.